Michael, you did say before the game that Wigan would come right at you from the start, and they didn't let you down, did they?
Yeah, I thought the good team, very physical, and probably dominated with their physicality against us. But in reality, I thought we started the game sloppy, slow, not fast enough, not like us. So I thought the first 20-25 minutes, it was definitely them dominating us. And then I think in the end, we were probably fortunate to go in at half-time winning. But then we start the second half slow again and make mistakes and a bit sloppy on the ball, and it's 2-2, and then things happened after that. And I think up until 10 men, I thought they were the better team. But when it went to 10 men, I thought then we came the better team with some of the changes we made as well. So yeah, tough game, John. But sorry, I think in the end, a good point because we weren't quite on it today.
A very honest assessment. Are they the best team you've seen this season?
At what they do. Yeah, at what they do and how they do it. So they're very different from last year. Like we're going to come up against so many different teams. They push the wing backs very high, who are wingers if you like, and they put you under pressure down the sides. And they've got two physical nines on the pitch with Mullin and Sadie that causes loads of problems. But we weren't pressing well enough. So we weren't getting up to the ball quick enough. We weren't moving quick enough. So in the end, we've started really well. I think everyone knows that, and we've not got beat at home again, which is great. And when it went to 10 versus 10, I thought we had some big chances to go and nick it and go and win it. But I don't think it's necessarily the performance we wanted, especially first starts of first half.
Do you have sympathy for Rob Street in that maybe the first one wasn't really a yellow? The second one possibly was, but not the first one.
Yeah, last week I was really frustrated with the refs, but I think today he got most things right. I think the first one maybe. The second one's a yellow card, his foot's high, and Sadie's tackle on Tom Bayliss is a straight red. So we've got to sort out the discipline for sure. We're picking up too many reds, too many yellows, and it's hurting us. And it's not Rob, it's us as a group, it's everybody, because there's too many being given out, and it's because we're late to things. And today we were too late to the tackles, and then you give sloppy fouls away, and it turns the game over. So yeah, I think you're always looking, if you can grab a point when you don't play well, it's a sign as a good team. And we're a good team, but we weren't on it today, I don't think, enough.
And your resources are going to be stretched next weekend with a couple out with suspension.
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge. But we might get some bodies in the building, as we know. So, but that's why we wanted the depth. But we've got to be better than that. We've got to be better than that if we want to pick up 3 points rather than a point. But in the end, I think Colo has probably got his goals, which is magnificent. I think his penalty was great. He's on the move for the second one, so it's fantastic there. We have to bring him off to change shape a little bit to try and match them, because I thought at the time we were getting ragged a little bit, and they looked like they were going to score another, so we had to try and match them for shape. And we then got a bit of territory back, and we could get up the pitch. But I think in the end, on Monday when it settles down, probably a good point against a very good team.
It was a good turnaround, 2 goals in 3 minutes. Their heads could have dropped. They didn't. They came back at you again in the second half.
Yeah, and I think that's where we usually start halves very quickly. Obviously, we usually start games very quickly, and I think that's where today's the disappointment, where we didn't start it as we weren't on the front foot, we weren't aggressive enough with our press. And they started faster than us, and I think we felt their physicality a little bit, but our intensity should take over the physicality if we're prepared to, do the right things. And it's just a bit disappointing because we have started every game really well this season, and we start quick, but today we didn't get that right.
And final point, you nearly nicked it at the end, and Ben Howes seems to be getting on the end of things at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, Ben's been playing really well. Probably a bit unlucky not to be starting because he's done that well. But we went with the same team because they've all done well when we started games. But he's obviously chomping at the bit to get in. I thought when he came on, he looked like his usual self, and he looks like he's threatening to score goals. And he probably should have got one. But that's where it is at the minute. We just could have nicked it in 10v10, like I say, but we didn't. But when I reflect on it at 11v11, I think we did enough just to get a point maybe, but it's a good point because I don't think we performed well enough to get 3 points.
No. Back to Burton, where you've got a recent victory. That doesn't mean anything, does it? So you start all over again.
Yeah, no, we have to recover. It felt like today the lads need a rest. Some of them out there looked tired to me. So they need a good rest this week. We need to get them prepped, and Burton away is going to be a tough game. We know what to expect. It's the Carabao Cup game that we played probably doesn't reflect what it's going to be like because both teams made a few changes, so I think it's going to be a very different game than that game. But we want to try and get 3 points, but we know how hard that is on the road, and that's why we always want to try and get 3 points at home. It's great to be unbeaten still, of course, but over the last few games we want to pick up a few more points up than we have.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.